So believe it or not, we have some good news in regards to the COVID relief bill. Schumer and Pelosi have filed a joint budget resolution kicking off reconciliation process to pass $1.9 trillion COVID aid with simple majority vote. Quote, Congress must pursue a bold and robust course of action. It makes no sense to pinch pennies, Schumer says. Now, right before I came on air, we got another awesome quote that was from Biden of all people, where Biden said, I think it was to the 10 Republicans who were in that meeting, or no, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was with Manchin or somebody afterwards. Anyway, he said something to the effect of, we're not going to make the same mistake of 2009, where Obama tried so hard to reach out to all these Republicans, and they wasted a lot of time, and they ended up getting no Republican votes. So, listen, in some ways, credit where it's due. This is Biden learning the lesson of the Obama era and saying, like, listen, okay, I tried to go through regular order. If you guys are making clear you want a package that I think is way too small, well then step aside. We have the 51 votes through reconciliation, so we're going to start the process of reconciliation. Now, what you need to understand is this. Reconciliation takes a while. I don't know how many hours. It's some preposterous number of hours that they have to debate, 30 or 50 hours, something like that. It's a mess. The whole process is a mess, but when the process is done, you can get something passed with 51 votes. They've started the process of reconciliation. That's definitely a good thing. What I will say is this, though, and maybe I'm nitpicking, although I really don't think I am, especially because they were promising the $2,000 checks would go out immediately or within the first week, and now we're past the first week. But I would have been lenient enough where if at some point within the first week they started the process of reconciliation, okay, I'll give you full credit. But they didn't. They didn't do it within the first week. They waited more than the first week. Really, they should have started the process of reconciliation on this within the first 2 days. You know what I mean? Because you're going to know very quickly whether or not you can get to the 60 Republican votes. Because there's only 51 Democratic votes, so you need to get a lot of Republicans. If you know after the first day or two that the count is 2 or 3 Republicans that you're going to be able to get, if that, then why are we messing around? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I don't understand what we're doing here. Don't get it. Just go right to reconciliation. So this is the good news, that $1.9 trillion package through reconciliation. The bad news is I have now seen a lot of chatter that there are negotiations going on behind the scenes where they're thinking about adjusting not the size of the checks. It should be $2,000. It's not. They backed off to $1,400 and said a total of $2,000 because you already got $600. So I think they're staying with that number, but what they're flirting with now is means testing it even more, which means instead of this money going to everybody that makes $75,000 a year or less, they're thinking of lowering that to like $50,000 or something, or having a phase-in where, you know, you get a certain number if you make a certain amount, and you get a little more if you make less. So in other words, they're thinking of like hyper means testing it even more than they already are. So if they do that, then get ready to criticize strongly because they deserve the criticism. I mean, they already deserve the criticism for backing off the $2,000 checks and now making it $1,400. They already deserve criticism for that. But this would be another level of criticism where you're really going out of your way to make the bill objectively worse and to leave a lot of people behind who need the help and need it. Now, people are already being left behind. It's not like it's only the people who made $75,000 a year or less that are feeling the hurt. There's a lot of people who made more than that who are feeling the hurt. So it's already too means tested. They might want to means test it even more. But I will say, we have to cross that bridge when we come to it, when we get the final numbers of what will be in the package. But as of right now, starting the process of reconciliation is a good sign. That is a good sign. There are other things that we'll talk about in other segments that are bad signs, but this is a good sign, and at least it's more progressive than the Obama years right now. So we all thought Joe Biden, based on his track record, he would do nothing but nonstop, 24/7, always reaching out to Republicans, and I started to believe they weren't even going to try to get it through reconciliation. But now they started the process for reconciliation, so that's definitely a good thing. Now we have to see how aggressive it is, how much of the integrity of the bill is maintained. But at least for now, you can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief because there wasn't any way it was getting through regular order. So now we know at least there's a chance that this is getting through.